welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to bring you our first impressions, kind of our gut check on Oathsworn from Boardgames.
And we have big news to tell you.
We have and are accepting a bit of a challenge presented by Shadowborn themselves. So we need to talk about the specifications of that, what's going to be coming to the channel, and where we think about the game so far.
Yeah.
This was, for those of you who don't know, my probably most anticipated of the year. I have been insanely excited. I've called it a Kingdom Death competitor.
Yeah.
It is a giant
Top 10 competitor. I mean, you have been looking forward to this since you found out about it.
Yeah. This is a giant boss battler with story-driven campaign, a lot of cool hidden puzzles and Easter eggs and elements like that. It's a game that I have been awaiting for a long time. And that's why I'm going to shut up for a bit and let Shira talk about what your experience has been so far.
So, I don't know if anyone ever remembers, but when the Alex and Jesse and Devin all played this game online, I was invited to that TTS
That wasn't
session.
a recorded thing.
It was not a recorded thing, so no one
remembers.
No one should remember.
Not a single
But no one
person.
ever talks about me as if I was there.
No one says you were there.
But I remember the rat horde. The mother rat horde, with the rats coming down her back and walking across and trying to figure out how you were going to cycle your cards. I remember certain specific details, but it was a really long time ago and my memory is not that great. And we just broke it out over this past weekend and dived into our first episode, kind of testing the waters before we dive into a full campaign. And it is everything that I was looking forward to at that time. This was a lot of fun. I had to leave halfway through the story, so I didn't exactly get all of the story and all of the encounter. I came back for both parts of both, so it was definitely a first impressions.
We, off camera, went ahead and read through the rulebook, played through a zero session, like not saving anything, not storing anything, just learning the functionality of the game in person.
And then reread the
read
rulebook.
through the rulebook again, both of us.
To figure out all of our mistakes and figure out what rules we're going to miss. We're going to be putting out a video of the top 10 rules you're probably going to miss, even after you've read the rulebook 3 times.
Yeah.
But it was fun. And the cycling and whether you choose to use the dice or whether you choose to use the cards to do the damage and how you're going to move the cards around so that you get them back, the battle cycle, the battle sequencing, the personalities of the different monsters, the variability, the story, the detail of it. I got to read the story because that's how I'm the most immersed in it. It's great.
Yeah.
I understand why this is a competitor.
The writing is really, really compelling. The world is super cool. What you're talking about, the cycling of cards, is your tableau has a really interesting action system. You have a hand of cards that are going to be your resources, and they include things like your weapons, your abilities, etc., etc. You have about 7 cards in your hand, plus whatever item and gear you've carried with you. And you pay a resource cost to play those cards and take those actions. Or you can play them as shields, just to expend energy to block a heavier hit. But you also have 3 locations around your player board. And these locations correspond to cooldown effects on the cards that you have. More powerful cards take longer to refresh. The way that actual system works is if I play a card that refreshes in Zone 2, I now need to activate and play another card into Zone 2 to flow those cards down to Zone 1. Then the same thing, play a card into Zone 1 to flow those cards down to Zone 0, and then refresh Zone 0 into my hand at the start of my next turn. It's really cool.
And the way that they've figured it out is that your hand will always have 7 cards. A 0, 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 3s. Because to get the 3 back out of the 3 zone, you have to have another 3 to play into it. But as soon as you've played both sets of 3s, you have to wait until you play a 2, a 1, and a 0 to get them back into your hand. So you have to use those powerful cards tactfully at the right moment, saving them, and starting that cycle up so that you can get them back in your hands for those moments.
Now, a big thing for this that's going to be the thing that, for me, lumps it up against Kingdom Death is going to be the big boss battling element of the game. The story mode is a bit different. You're playing as heroes, you're not building a settlement, you're going through and kind of crafting characters. But you're a party of Oathsworn. And this party is interesting because it's going to tie into the actual challenge that we've been presented with. You see, you're venturing forth, and you can sub in and sub out and bring on new characters at any stage in the game you want, because you're all part of this tribe of people who've decided or committed to protecting the realm. But the bosses are going to be, for me, the crux of the game. And right now, we've only opened up the first pack, which is the thing that everyone has already seen. It's on the front cover of the whole thing. The giant brood rat with all of the babies.
Mother brood.
And right now the AI is working really well. It spawns well, it moves down onto the board, it feels threatening, it escalates quickly. I love the combat system. You actually have different points of interest to do damage to, and depending on where you've actually hurt and hit, kind of like criticals in Kingdom Death, where if you break the paw, it can't do some of its attack. Well, this is even more specific. You knock off the front of the mouth, you're going to affect a lot of the bite abilities throughout the cards.
I like the simplicity also of the fact that the damage is measured by dice, and you're taking down the dice to keep track of the damage, but it's also very visual. If all 5 dice, 6 dice have the 6 up, you have to deal 36 points of damage to it. It's very easy to compute. It wasn't that complicated.
Yeah, it's actually, the rulebook's written really well.
The rulebook is a glorious
It's a really accessible game. There's a few things that, we're likely to miss, which is why we've done it a few times and really read through. Movement,
line of sight, some of those technical things.
I think that this, if we play it enough before my top 10 list comes out, and I'm probably about 2 months away from my top 10 for this year, I think this is a really, really strong contender. It's not kicking Kingdom Death off the list, because I'm too nostalgic for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I right now would be happy playing Kingdom Death or Oathsworn, and I kind of want to play Oathsworn because it's the new baby.
It's the new baby, but Kingdom Death, the darkness. There's that one aspect, the deranged darkness,
the insanity, all of that, sure.
Of the fact that they were laying on the floor and they reached down and grabbed a stone face of the people who died. That's my necklace. My stone face that I wear that twisted mentality. I don't think we're gonna find in here. I think the bosses are gonna be insanely sick. But Kingdom Death will hold a place in my heart.
So much.
The Kingdom Death will hold a place in my heart.
So I think this most likely has a chance of knocking off another adjacent campaign game or squeezing something like Space Empires on my list, which is kind of in the 4X spot, but if I'm not playing it, I'm not playing it, right?
Or just be a 0.5?
No, nothing else will be in 0. Nothing else is going to get knocked off the list. I'm very curious to see where this ends up. So, let's talk about what we are doing.
Yes.
We got an email from the publisher.
Yes.
Shadowborn Games. We've been excited about their project for a long time. We got an email from them saying, we want to present a challenge to you.
We know how excited you are to be getting this game in.
Yep.
And we don't think you're going to survive.
That's literally what they said. They said, if you play on, I will read the email. If you have 9 deaths before you can't field a full company and lose the campaign. If you do hardcore normal, free company difficulty, which is medium difficulty, average difficulty.
It's average difficulty.
I think Chapter 14 kills your entire company.
So, to go out with a full company of Oathsworn, you need to have 4 characters. You're always going out with 4 no matter how many people are sitting around the table.
And there's 20 plus missions in this game.
There's 20 plus missions, but there's only 12 Oathsworn. So when he says that there's at 9, you can't go out with a full company, that means you've died 8 different classes.
Now, in hardcore mode, you die. In regular game mode, you actually just refresh and come back out on the hunt.
You're knocked out, you're unconscious, you take a variable amount of wounds, and it is going to negatively affect your score at the end of the game, but you can replay your scenario so that you can maintain the life of your character and your class.
Now, there is a system that allows you to go back out on a hunt you've already done to save your characters. However, I don't think the challenge that Jamie is presenting encompasses that.
No.
I think 9 deaths is what he's saying.
Hardcore is you die. You don't get those characters back.
You can get your characters back on hardcore mode. You don't get the death tick back, but you can replay the scenario for a better outcome so your character survives. You can, I'm telling you.
Okay.
However, I don't think that's what Jamie's presenting.
Yes, I don't think it is either.
I'm willing to take it as a caveat. I'm willing to do it as a Hail Mary if we need it. But we don't know anything beyond the first scenario. And the first scenario was brutal. Let's just say
didn't go well.
We survived.
No, we didn't.
Not all of us did.
We did not survive.
No, we won the battle.
We cheated. To to ensure that I could have a playing experience.
I remember
because they were going to die before. Yeah.
Alex and I were not going to.
Alex and Jesse were dying. I came back and I was like, I want to see how it operates. Like, let me refresh.
You seem to have a different memory of this than I do.
Okay.
Here's what they said, though. This followed up with this. If you do hard Grim Company, which is hard mode, he thinks it's chapter 11, and if you do Dread, it's chapter 8. So any of you that are venturing into this with us, feel free to take this challenge on your own right. See if you can beat Oathsworn at their own competition.
I kind of want to do Dread.
No, we're doing... I asked the community already. Free Company is what was voted on.
Okay.
If you want to make it interesting, because this is going to be a bet, this is a gamble, he says, if you survive past these points, we'll make you a promo ally in the next printing. But if you lose, you have to wear a t-shirt of his design in 3 of my top X videos, right? Some of the most viewed videos you get on the channel. Says, what do you say? And then follows up with, hope I'm talking to a duck and not a chicken. So here's my...
What was your response to him?
Here's my double down. Here's what I'm saying. I will absolutely take the terms.
Yeah.
But I'm going to modify them slightly.
Free Company?
I'm going to modify them
Hardcore.
Slightly. Free Company Hardcore. We have to survive past campaign mode 14.
Okay. What are you modifying?
Here's what I want to modify. If we survive, I don't just want to be a promo ally.
Okay.
Here's what I want. I don't like having a Quackalope promo card. I think they're stupid.
Okay.
Like, I don't think they integrate well. I want to be, in some way, a real ally in the game. It doesn't have to be named Jesse Anderson. I wanted an ally incorporated into the next printing of the game that has some motif to the Quackalope community.
You know what I would rather? I'm not going to get it, but
I have an and.
What, do you know what I would rather?
I don't know what you'd rather.
Okay.
What would you rather?
I would rather you be a person we fight against.
That's too big of a development thing. That's not an option.
I know.
An ally is just a little card, right? It's just an artwork thing. Here's the and. Here's the other thing that I want. I want a promo set of gear. I want a sword, helmet, shield. I want like a 5-card set of gear that is just Quackalope oriented. Bright yellow on the steel, horns on the helmet, a sigil of a duck on the breastplate, something like that, right?
Okay.
I want it to look like it fits into the Oathsworn world. I don't want it to look like it's Quackalope promo gear. I don't want it named Quackalope. I don't want any of that. I just want the community here to know that exists in the next campaign because we survived.
You can say yes, because we're not going to get there. Like, we're not going to beat level 14.
And I will accept your terms. 3 top 10 videos with some of your stuff on it.
What stuff did he say?
Shirt. He has to send. I don't know. He has to send me like whatever we want. He wants us to print or a shirt or something. But if you agree to my new terms, if you agree to the incorporation of Quackalope officially, not a promo, not a weird promo thing, like just somehow in there, I will acknowledge the shirt on camera as well. Not just wear it.
Yeah.
But be like, hey, I'm wearing this because I lost embarrassingly to a campaign game that we had a blast playing. That would be Oathsworn.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. By the way, here's my top 10 of, dumb drinking games that Devin and I like playing together. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's my proposal. So, audience, what are we going to be doing? We are going to be starting a campaign probably within the next week or so. We're going to be starting to record through the series. We're planning to record every single episode all the way through 14 beyond if we're loving it and if the audience is engaged with it.
We're not going to make it that far, but okay.
The first stuff that we're going to be recording will be produced in the high quality past 2 a.m. style production. That means episode 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. As watchable as possible. At any point, the viewership slows down for what's good for the channel, because if we release videos that a giant audience is not engaged with, it hurts our channel in the long run. We'll move those videos to either unlisted and share them on BGG and Reddit with the Oathsworn community, and then post them up on Patreon as well. That's what we're doing. We're going to give you a chance to journey through this with us. We know that there's a lot of secret and hidden content in Oathsworn. I think we're going to end up doing like story recaps or things that like encompass the story of the game as we play through. But But yeah, that's our proposal. That's what we're doing. We're accepting the challenge. We're taking up the mantle. I love an excuse to play through this game. I am so excited about it.
Yeah.
So
wish us luck.
yeah, wish us a bit of luck.
Let us know what character we should play starting out.
I already know who I'm playing, the witch.
You playing the witch?
She's one of the more complicated, and she's amazing.
I know who I'm playing as well. I'm playing the first tree person. I think it's...
You're gonna commit?
The ranger.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. One of the more complicated ones as well?
It's the easiest one.
Oh, okay.
The very,
At the very top of the puzzle.
Yes, the other one, the one you're talking about,
maiden.
you're not supposed to unlock until episode 12.
Yeah.
And I want to get up to that level.
And then unlock them?
And unlock them and have played the precursor to her.
I hear.
Predecessor. So I'm playing that, and I'm probably going to go out with the bear, honestly.
Cool.
The bear's cool.
All right. That's a story. That's our first impressions.
Yeah.
That's our thoughts around Oathsworn. We're insanely excited about this game, and we're looking forward to bring you along on that journey. My thought is we're going to probably be doing this series all the way up through the next Kickstarter campaign. So stay with us. Make sure you're subscribed, and let us know your thoughts. We'll see you next time.